The notification sat there on her laptop screen like a bomb that had already gone off. I wasn't snooping. That's what I keep telling myself, even now. Her laptop was open on the kitchen counter, the screen still lit up because she'd rushed out to get her phone from the car. I was just walking past with my coffee, just glancing over, just existing in my own home. Last night was amazing. Can't stop thinking about you. The message preview sat right there in the corner of her screen. Some chat app one didn't recognize. The sender name was just initials. DM. My hand froze halfway to my mouth. Coffee sloshed over the rim of my mug, burning my thumb. I didn't feel it. Last night she'd told me she was working late. Again. Some big project with her boss. Deadline crunch. She'd texted me around 8 saying not to wait up, that she'd grab dinner at the office. I'd eaten leftover pizza alone. Watched half a movie. Fallen asleep on the couch waiting for her to come home. She'd gotten back around 11. I'd woken up when I heard her keys in the door. She'd smiled at me, kissed my forehead, said she was exhausted and going straight to bed. She'd smelled like expensive perfume. Not the one I'd bought her for Christmas. Something else. I thought nothing of it then. Now I couldn't think of anything else. The front door opened. Sarah's voice carried through the hallway. Found it was under the seat. I swear that thing has a mind of its own. I stepped back from the laptop. My heart was hammering so hard I could feel it in my throat. She walked into the kitchen, phone in hand, smile on her face. The same face I'd woken up next to for 6 years. The same face that had said, "I do," in front of our families and friends. The same face that had cried happy tears when we'd bought this house. "You okay?" she asked, setting her phone down. "You look pale." "I'm fine," I heard myself say. "Just tired." She walked right past me to her laptop, closed it without looking at the screen. "I need to get ready for work. Running late already." And just like that, she was gone. Up the stairs, into the shower, into her clothes, into her car, into her life that apparently didn't include me the way I'd thought it did. I stood in that kitchen for 20 minutes after she left. Just stood there. The coffee had gone cold in my hand. The morning light streamed through the windows, bright and normal and completely wrong. Then I did what I swore I wasn't going to do. I opened her laptop. She'd left it logged in. She always did at home. Why wouldn't she? We'd never had secrets. We'd always been the couple that other couples envied. The ones who still held hands at dinner. The ones who kissed goodbye every morning. The ones who actually meant it when they said, "I love you." Or so I thought. The chat app was still open. The message still there. I clicked on it. The conversation thread loaded. I wish it hadn't. The messages went back months. 3 months. 13 weeks of "Good morning, beautiful," and "Can't wait to see you tonight," and "You make me feel alive again." 13 weeks of hotel names and room numbers, and "Wear that blue dress I like." 13 weeks of my wife sharing parts of herself with someone else. Someone named David Mitchell. Her boss. I knew him. I'd met him at company events. Firm handshake. Easy smile. Married. 3 kids. His wife had talked to me about gardening at the last Christmas party while he'd stood next to Sarah, his hand resting on the small of her back just a little too long. I'd noticed it then. Dismissed it. Told myself I was being paranoid. I wasn't paranoid. The messages were explicit. Detailed. Things I didn't want to know. Things I couldn't unknown now that I'd seen them. My wife describing what she wanted to do to him. Him telling her how beautiful she looked when she did. Plans for next time. Promises for when they could get away again. And then I saw something that made everything worse. Confirmed for the Harbor View Hotel. Friday night. I'll book the suite. Perfect. I'll transfer you the money tonight. I opened a new tab. Logged into our bank account. The joint account we'd set up when we got married. The one we both contributed to every month for bills and groceries and our future. The transaction history loaded. There it was. Hotel charges. Dozens of them. Going back 3 months. Always on nights, she'd said she was working late. Always for amounts that made my stomach turn. $200. $300. $400 for the special occasions. Our money. Money I'd earned working overtime. Money she'd earned at the job where she was sleeping with her boss. Money we were supposed to be saving for the baby we'd been trying for. Money that was supposed to build our life together. She'd been spending it on hotel rooms to fuck someone else. I closed the laptop. Walked to the bathroom. Threw up everything I'd eaten in the last 12 hours. When I could finally stand up straight, I looked at myself in the mirror. Red eyes. Pale skin. The face of a man whose life had just collapsed. I washed my face. Brushed my teeth. Went through the motions because I didn't know what else to do. Then I went to work. I don't remember the drive. I don't remember parking. I sat at my desk and stared at my computer screen and saw nothing but those messages. Those dates. Those numbers. "Hey man, you good?" Marcus from accounting stood in my cubicle. Good guy. We'd grab lunch sometimes. Talk about sports and movies and normal things that normal people care about. Yeah, I said. Just didn't sleep well. You look like death. Want to grab coffee? Sure. We went to the break room. He talked about the game last night. Some play I should have seen. Some call the refs got wrong. I nodded in the right places. Made the right sounds. But my brain was somewhere else. 3 months. 90 days of lies. 90 nights of her coming home smelling like him. How many times had she kissed me after kissing him? How many times had she crawled into bed next to me with his touch still on her skin? How many times had she said she loved me while planning her next night with him? Dude, seriously, what's wrong? Marcus was looking at me like I'd grown a second head. Sorry, I need to make a call. I went outside. Sat in my car. Pulled out my phone. I didn't know who to call. My parents? They loved Sarah. They'd be devastated. They'd ask questions I didn't have answers to yet. My brother? He'd want to drive over and break something. Probably David Mitchell's face. That wouldn't help. My friends? Most of them were our friends. Couple friends. People we had barbecues with on weekends. People who'd assume I was overreacting or misunderstanding or just going through something. I needed someone who'd believe me. Someone who'd help me think clearly. I called Jake. Jake and I had been friends since college. He'd been my best man. He was a divorce attorney now. I'd always thought that was ironic, him dealing with failed marriages every day while the rest of us built ours. I'd never thought I'd need his services. Hey man, what's up? His voice was cheerful, normal, from a world where wives didn't cheat and marriages didn't implode. Jake, I need your help. The cheer disappeared. What happened? Sarah's having an affair. Silence. Then, carefully, are you sure? I saw the messages. I saw the bank statements. 3 months. With her boss. Using our money for hotels. More silence. When he spoke again, his voice was different. Professional. The voice he used in court. Where are you right now? In my car. At work. Don't go home. Not yet. Can you come to my office? Now. Right now? Don't talk to her. Don't confront her. Don't do anything until we talk. Jake Euro. Trust me. I know you're angry. I know you want answers. But you need to be smart about this. Come to my office. We'll figure this out. I drove to his office in a daze. The city looked different. Like I was seeing it through glass. Everything slightly distorted. Slightly wrong. Jake's office was downtown. 20th floor. Big windows overlooking the river. He'd done well for himself. His secretary waved me through. He was waiting in his office. Door already open. Sit, he said, gesturing to the chairs across from his desk. I sat her day. He closed the door. Took the chair next to me instead of behind his desk. That's how I knew this was bad. When your divorce lawyer friend doesn't want a desk between you. Tell me everything, he said. So I did. The message. The chat history. The bank statements. The dates and times and amounts. The realization that my entire marriage had been a lie for the last 3 months, and I'd been too stupid to see it. He listened without interrupting. Took notes on a legal pad. When I finished, he set down his pen and looked at me. I'm sorry, he said. I know that doesn't help, but I'm sorry this is happening. What do I do? First, you breathe. Second, you think. Third, you act. In that order. I want to confront her. I know. Don't. Why not? Because right now you have the advantage. She doesn't know you know. That gives us time to prepare. Prepare for what? Divorce. The word hung in the air between us. Heavy. Final. Real. I don't know if I want that. You might not. But you need to be prepared for it. Look, maybe this is salvageable. Maybe you two can work it out. Counseling. Whatever. But right now, today, you need to protect yourself legally and financially. How? He pulled out a fresh legal pad. Started writing. First, document everything. Screenshot those messages. Download the bank statements. Create a timeline. Dates, times, locations. Everything you can prove. I nodded. My hands were shaking. Second, open a separate bank account. In your name only. Start redirecting your paychecks there. If she's using joint funds for her affair, you need to protect your assets. That feels sneaky. It's not sneaky. It's smart. She's been spending your money on her affair. You're entitled to protect your financial interests. Okay. Third, and this is important, act normal. Don't let on that you know. I know that's hard. But the moment you confront her, she'll lawyer up, she'll start hiding things, she'll control the narrative. You need time to build your case first. How long? A week. Maybe 2. Long enough to get everything in order. Then we serve her. Serve her. With divorce papers. At work, probably. Maximum impact, minimum opportunity for her to destroy evidence or move money around. My stomach turned. This is really happening. Only if you want it to. But you need to be prepared either way. Trust me. I've seen too many guys get destroyed because they acted on emotion instead of strategy. I closed my eyes. Tried to breathe. Couldn't. What if I'm wrong? What if there's an explanation? Jake's look told me everything I needed to know. There isn't. Not for this. Not for messages like you described. Not for using your money to pay for hotels. She said she loved me this morning. I'm sure she did. People compartmentalize. They tell themselves stories to make their behavior okay. She probably believes she loves you. She just loves him too. Or loves what he makes her feel. Or loves the excitement. Doesn't matter. What matters is what you're going to do about it. I don't know. You don't have to know today, but you do have to start protecting yourself today. Can you do that? I nodded. Didn't trust my voice. Good. Go home. Act normal. I'll draw up a preliminary filing. We won't submit it unless you give the word. But it'll be ready. Okay. Okay. I drove home in autopilot. The house looked the same. Our house. The one we'd bought together 3 years ago. The one where we'd painted the walls and argued about furniture and made love in every room because we could. Sarah's car wasn't in the driveway yet. She wouldn't be home for another 2 hours. I had time. I went inside, straight to her laptop, started taking screenshots. Every message, every date, every explicit detail that made me want to throw the computer through the window. Then the bank account, printed out statements, highlighted every hotel charge, 13 of them, nearly $4,000 total. For $1,000 of our future spent on her affair. I created a folder on a USB drive, saved everything, hid the drive in my work bag. Then I sat on our couch and waited for my wife to come home. She walked in at 6:30. Same smile. Same hey babe. Same kiss on my cheek like nothing was wrong. How was your day? She asked, setting down her purse. Fine, I said. Yours? Exhausting. David's really pushing on this new project. I might have to work late again tomorrow. David. She said his name so casually. Like it didn't mean anything. Like she wasn't planning to spend tomorrow night in a hotel room with him while I sat home alone. That's too bad, I said. Kept my voice even. I was hoping we could have dinner together. Sorry, babe. This project is just crazy right now. But Friday we're all caught up. We can do date night. Friday. The night she had the Harbor View suite booked. Sounds great, I said. She smiled. Kissed me. Went upstairs to change. I sat there on the couch, hands clenched into fists, and wondered how long I could keep this up. How long I could pretend I didn't know. How long I could look at her without seeing him. Dinner was pasta. Her favorite. She talked about her day. Her coworkers. Some drama in the office I'd normally care about. I nodded. Made the right sounds. Felt like I was watching myself from outside my body. You're quiet tonight, she said. Just tired. You've been tired a lot lately. Everything okay? The irony almost made me laugh. Yeah, just work stuff. Want to talk about it? Not really. She reached across the table. Took my hand. Her touch felt like fire. I'm here if you need me. You know that, right? I looked at her. Really looked at her. Try to see the person who could do this. Who could look me in the eye and lie so easily. Who could hold my hand while planning her next night with him. I couldn't see it. She just looked like Sarah. My Sarah. Except she wasn't. Not anymore. I know, I said. We watched TV after dinner. Some show we'd been following. She curled up against me on the couch. Rested her head on my shoulder. Like always. But everything was different now. Her phone buzzed. She checked it. Smiled. Typed something back. Who was that? I asked. Casual. Just Sarah from marketing. Funny meme. Another lie. So easy for her. We went to bed at 11. She fell asleep in minutes. I lay awake next to her, listening to her breathe, and wondered how I'd ever sleep again. The next day, I opened a new bank account. Transferred half of our joint savings. Changed my direct deposit. Jake had said it was necessary. It still felt like stealing. But she'd stolen from me first. Stolen my trust. My love. My future. Sarah worked late that night. Just like she'd said she would. I tracked our joint account. $280 posted at 7:43 p.m. The Riverside Hotel. I sat in our house and knew exactly where she was and what she was doing and felt something inside me break that I didn't think could be fixed. Jake called the next morning. Papers are ready. When do you want to do this? I don't know. Take your time. But not too much time. The longer you wait, the harder this gets. That night Sarah came home early. Surprised me with takeout from my favorite restaurant. We ate together. Talked. Laughed even. For a moment, I almost forgot. Then her phone buzzed. She glanced at it. That secret smile crossed her face. And I remembered everything. The weekend was torture. She'd canceled Friday night. Some excuse about her mother. We stayed home. Watched movies. Had sex. I felt sick the entire time. She initiated it. Kissed me. Undressed me. Made all the right sounds. And all I could think about was whether she'd done this with him the day before. Whether she was comparing us. Whether she was thinking about him while touching me. Afterward, she fell asleep. I went to the bathroom. Threw up again. Monday morning I called Jake. Do it, I said. You're sure? I'm sure. Okay. I'll have process servers at her office Wednesday at 10 a.m. Why Wednesday? Because it'll be exactly 1 week since you found out. Gives you time to get everything in order. And Wednesday's the middle of the week. She won't see it coming. Okay. You're doing the right thing. Doesn't feel like it. It will. Eventually. I spent Monday and Tuesday moving my things. Not everything. Just essentials. Clothes. Documents. Things that mattered. I took them to a storage unit I'd rented under my name. A place she didn't know about. Sarah didn't notice. Why would she? She was too busy texting David. Planning their next meeting. Living her double life. Tuesday night, she worked late again. I checked the account. $300. The Grand Hotel downtown. I didn't cry anymore. I'd run out of tears. Wednesday morning, I woke up before the alarm. Couldn't sleep anyway. Sarah was still asleep. She looked peaceful. Innocent. Like someone who hadn't destroyed everything we'd built. I got up. Showered. Dressed. Went downstairs. She came down 20 minutes later. Already dressed for work. That blue dress. The one David liked. You're up early, she said. Couldn't sleep. Everything okay? Fine. She made coffee. We stood in the kitchen together. Like we had 1,000 times before. Like we were still a normal couple. I love you, she said. The words hung there. Meaningless. Love you too, I said. She kissed me. Grabbed her purse. Headed for the door. See you tonight? Yeah. See you tonight. The door closed behind her. I looked at the clock. 8:47 a.m. In 1 hour and 13 minutes, a process server would walk into her office and hand her divorce papers. In 1 hour and 13 minutes, her world would implode the way mine had last week. I sat down at the kitchen table, pulled out my phone, opened the photos where I'd saved screenshots of the messages, looked at them one more time, made sure I wasn't crazy, made sure this was real. It was real. All of it. My phone rang at 10:02 a.m. Jake. It's done. She's been served. How did she react? According to the server, she went pale, started crying, asked what this was about. He told her it was self-explanatory and left. Okay. She's probably going to call you. I know. Don't answer. Not yet. Let her sit with it. Okay. You did the right thing, man. Yeah. I hung up. My phone started ringing immediately. Sarah's name on the screen. I let it go to voicemail. It rang again. Voicemail. Again. Voicemail. Text messages started coming through. What is this? Why would you do this? Please call me. We need to talk. This is insane. Please. I put my phone on silent. Went for a walk. Needed air. Needed space. Needed to not be in that house. When I came back 2 hours later, there were 37 missed calls. 42 text messages. I didn't read them. Jake had said to wait. So I waited. At 3 p.m. my phone rang from a number I didn't recognize. I almost didn't answer. But something made me. Hello. Is this Mr. Patterson? A woman's voice. Professional. Cold. Yes. This is Jennifer Walters from Mitchell & Associates law firm. I'm calling on behalf of Sarah Patterson. She'd like to arrange a meeting to discuss your recent filing. That was fast. Put her through, I said. I'm afraid Mrs. Patterson isn't available right now. She's asked me to schedule a meeting between you, her, and your respective attorneys to discuss settlement options. There's nothing to settle. I want a divorce. Mr. Patterson, I understand you're upset, but Shirley Euro. I found out my wife has been having an affair for 3 months. She's been using our joint money to pay for hotels. There's nothing to discuss. Silence on the other end. Then, more carefully, I see. Nevertheless, Mrs. Patterson would like the opportunity to speak with you. Tell Mrs. Patterson to speak to my attorney, Jake Morrison. She knows how to reach him. I hung up. My hands were shaking, but I felt something I hadn't felt in a week. Control. For the first time since I'd seen that message, I felt like I had some control over my life. My phone rang again. Sarah. I answered this time. How could you? She screamed before I could say anything. How could you do this to me? At my office. In front of everyone. You're kidding, right? I'm not kidding. Do you have any idea how humiliating that was? Do you have any idea how humiliating it was to find out my wife has been fucking her boss? She went silent. Yeah, I said. I know. About David. About the hotels. About everything. I can explain a euro. Don't. Please don't insult me by trying to explain. It's not what you think a euro. Sarah. Stop. I saw the messages. I saw the bank statements. I know exactly what it is. I could hear her crying. Part of me wanted to comfort her. 6 years of marriage doesn't just disappear. But a bigger part of me remembered those messages. Those dates. Those lies. We need to talk, she said. We are talking. In person. Please. Just let me explain. There's nothing to explain. Please. I'm coming home. We can figure this out. Don't. I'm not there. Where are you? Somewhere else. When will you be back? I don't know. This is our house. Actually, it's both of our house until the divorce is final. And right now, I don't want to be there. More crying. I made a mistake. Please. Let me fix this. You made a mistake for 3 months? It wasn't. It didn't mean anything. I laughed. Couldn't help it. $4,000 says otherwise. What? The hotels. The money you took from our account. $4,000. That's what your mistake cost. Financially anyway. Emotionally, it cost a lot more. I'll pay it back, Euro. I don't want it back. I want a divorce. No. No, please. We can go to counseling. We can work through this. I don't want to work through this. You don't mean that. I really do. What about our marriage? What about our vows? The audacity almost impressed me. You broke those vows 3 months ago. I'm just making it official. I love you. No, you don't. People who love each other don't do what you did. It was a mistake. People make mistakes. Mistakes are forgetting to take out the trash. This was a choice. A choice you made over and over for 90 days. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I know you are. You're sorry you got caught. That's not fair, Euro. None of this is fair, Sarah. But here we are. She was sobbing now. Full breakdown crying. The kind I'd held her through before when things were hard. But I wasn't there to hold her now. Please don't do this, she whispered. It's already done. I can't lose you. You already did. You just didn't know it yet. I hung up, turned off my phone, sat in my car in a random parking lot, and finally let myself feel it all. The anger, the pain, the betrayal, the grief. My marriage was over. The life I'd thought I was building was gone. The woman I'd loved for 6 years was a stranger. And somewhere in the city, she was probably calling David, crying to him, looking for comfort from the man she destroyed us for. The thought made me sick, but it also made me sure. I'd done the right thing. I turned my phone back on, called Jake. How are you holding up? I've been better. She called you, screamed at me, then begged me. Then her lawyer called. That was fast. That's what I said. What do you want to do? Push forward. No settlement. No mediation. Just end this. You sure? It'll get ugly. It's already ugly. Fair point. Okay. I'll file the response to her lawyer. This might take a while. I've got time. I didn't go home that night. Got a hotel room. Ironic, considering. But I needed space. Needed to not be in that house with her. My phone kept buzzing. Messages from Sarah. From her family. From our friends. Word had spread fast. Everyone wanted to know what was going on. Everyone wanted to fix it. Everyone thought I was overreacting. No one knew about David. I hadn't told anyone but Jake. I wasn't ready for that yet. For everyone to know. For the pity and the questions and the taking of sides. So I ignored them all. At 11 p.m., drunk in a hotel room that wasn't the harbor view, but could have been, I finally read Sarah's messages. Pages and pages of apologies. Explanations. Promises. She'd ended it with David. It was over. It had meant nothing. She'd been confused. She'd made a terrible mistake. She loved me. She'd always loved me. We could fix this. I almost believed her. Almost. But then I remembered something Jake had said. They're always sorry when they get caught. The question is whether they'd have stopped if you hadn't found out. I knew the answer to that. Those hotel reservations went forward 2 more weeks. She'd had plans. She'd been building a future with him, even if she didn't want to admit it. She was only sorry because I'd found out. She was only sorry because there were consequences now. I deleted the messages without responding. The next morning, I went back to the house. Sarah's car was gone. She'd left for work early, probably couldn't face being there. The house felt empty. Dead. Like a place where people used to live but didn't anymore. I packed more clothes. More personal items. Things I'd need for whatever came next. On the kitchen counter, she'd left a note. Please. Let's talk. I love you. I'm so sorry. S. I left it there. Unacknowledged. Jake called around noon. Her lawyer wants to meet. About what? Settlement. She's offering to split everything 50-50, including the house. She'll move out. You keep the house, she keeps her retirement. Clean break. What's the catch? She wants you to sign an NDA about the affair. I almost laughed. She wants to make sure I don't tell anyone she cheated? That's the gist. No. You sure? It's a good offer. You'd keep the house, Euro. I don't want the house. It's full of lies now. But I'm not signing an NDA. She doesn't get to control the narrative. Fair enough. I'll tell her lawyer no. Tell her lawyer I want to proceed with full discovery, including all communications between Sarah and David. All financial records. Everything. That'll make this messier. Good. Maybe she should have thought about that before she slept with her boss. All right. Your call. Over the next week, things escalated. Sarah's lawyers sent aggressive letters accusing me of financial misconduct for moving my money. Jake sent back evidence of Sarah's hotel spending. They threatened to subpoena my bank records. We threatened to subpoena David Mitchell. That one got their attention. Turned out David's wife didn't know either. And David had a lot more to lose than Sarah did. Partnership in the firm. Custody of his kids. His reputation. Sarah called me, panicked. You can't go after David. Watch me. He has kids. So do you and I. We just haven't had them yet because you've been too busy fucking him. That's not fair. None of this is fair. But if you want to play hardball, we'll play hardball. I just want this to be over. Then give me what I want. Which is full disclosure, admission of fault, and you pay back the $4,000 you took. I don't have $4,000. Then get it from David. I'm sure he'll be happy to help. She hung up on me. 2 days later, her lawyer sent a new settlement offer. Sarah would admit to the affair in the divorce filing. She'd pay back the money. She'd give me the house and take only her personal belongings and half her retirement. In exchange, I wouldn't pursue David Mitchell or make the affair public beyond what was legally necessary. I thought about it. Part of me wanted to burn it all down, to make sure everyone knew what she'd done, what they'd done. But another part of me just wanted it over. I called Jake. Take it. You sure? I'm sure. I just want to move on. Okay, I'll draw up the final papers. The divorce was finalized 6 weeks later. Quick, as divorces go. No kids. Minimal shared assets. Clear fault. I never saw Sarah in person again after that day I'd served her. Everything was handled through lawyers. I heard through friends that she'd quit her job, couldn't face the humiliation after everything came out. David had been quietly demoted. His wife had filed for separation. The house sold in 3 months. I didn't want to live there anymore. Too many ghosts. I took my half and started over. New apartment. New job eventually. New life. It's been 8 months now since I found that message. People ask me if I regret it, if I wish I'd tried harder to save the marriage. Honestly, no, because here's what I learned. You can't save a marriage when only one person is actually in it. You can't rebuild trust with someone who spent months actively destroying it. And you can't love someone back to fidelity when they've chosen to give themselves to someone else. I loved Sarah. Part of me probably always will. She was my first real love. My wife. My partner. But she stopped being those things the moment she made that choice. And I had to make a choice too. Stay and slowly die inside, or leave and eventually live again. I chose life. Was it the right choice? Sometimes I still don't know. Late at night, when the apartment's quiet and I'm alone, I sometimes wonder what would have happened if I'd given her another chance. If we'd gone to counseling. If we tried. Maybe we could have made it work. Maybe she really was sorry. Maybe I gave up too easily. But then I remember those messages. Those dates. Those $4,000. Those 90 days of lies. And I know, some things can't be fixed. Some betrayals are too deep. Some marriages are already over before the papers are filed. Ours was. I just had to make it official. So here's my question for you. If your partner cheated for months, spent your money on their affair, lied to your face every single day, but then begged for forgiveness when they got caught a euro, would you give them another chance? Or would you walk away and never look back? Because I chose to walk away. And I still don't know if that makes me strong or just unable to forgive. What would you do?